Hello and welcome to today's Yorkshire Voice. I'm Abby McClure. We've got an extended 20-minute programme today. Coming up, we meet the Leeds school children ditching class to protect the environment. Theresa May has resigned today. We get the reaction of people in Leeds. And we speak to football journalist Amy Rusky ahead of next month's Women's World Cup in France. But first, the breaking news of a serious incident in Sheffield. We're joined now by our reporter Dan Swells, who has more on the story. So Dan, what's happened?
So police were called out to a property on Greg House Road in the Shire Green area of Sheffield at around 7:30 this morning. Yorkshire Ambulance and Yorkshire Air Ambulance services took 6 children ranging in age between 14 years and 7 months to hospital. The 2 oldest of the children, aged 14 and 13, have sadly since died, and South Yorkshire Police say the cause of death is not yet known. It has been confirmed that the other 4 children are conscious in hospital and have sustained no life-threatening injuries.
And what are police doing about this incident?
So a 37-year-old man and a 34-year-old woman have been arrested on suspicion of murder and currently remain in police custody.
Thanks, Dan. Children in Leeds are skipping school today for a climate change protest. The students met in the city centre this morning armed with placards and banners. James Fountain reports.
Around 1,000 children gathered in Millennium Square, Leeds at 11 a.m. this morning. Today's protest was a follow-up to the one on the 15th of March and was focused on the recent airport expansion at Leeds Bradford, but today attracted double the number. Charlotte, 14, feels the protests are vital.
I'm here today because I don't think Leeds City Council understand what they mean by going carbon zero. They say that they wish to go carbon zero, but they're still extending an airport, and I've listened to the radio and they're saying that they're extending the airports because soon there's going to be electric planes, but that's not the way to think. Oh well, we'll just do this and have loads of planes flying around because hopefully soon there'll be electric planes. I don't agree with that, and it's still going to pollute the air now. Like that, it doesn't match up.
We've chosen to come ourselves, and the school haven't told us about this, but I wish they did, but it's just we have to come and choose what's right for the world.
We're not part of the protest, but we're here so the kids can ask us any questions that they want. It's important that if people are trying to really change the world, as they are, obviously very important, that they're as informed as they can be, basically.
We refuse to give up on a more livable, more joyful future.
I've been on a couple of protests in the past myself, a long time ago, and nothing vaguely this scale. It's quite incredible. There was 20 of us once. I think there's probably going to be over 1,000 maybe here, which is, yeah, it's incredible to see. I don't have kids, but if I did, they would probably be here. I would like to hope that at least.
With many not having formal permission to skip school today, it's quite clear that these children know the future is in their hands.
Theresa May has announced that she will step down as Prime Minister on the 7th of June. In an emotional speech outside Number 10 this morning, she said she had done her best to deliver Brexit, but that her time was over. We asked people in Leeds what they made of the news.
I'm not entirely shocked now. I think her position has become pretty much untenable. I think it probably paves the way now for perhaps some stability, or at least a route to Brexit.
She's been going back with the same, policy to try and get through Brexit, and no one's been backing her, so I think it's probably the right time, but she's had a really tough job.
I feel that the Tory party has been very bad towards her, although the party is in a mess anyway.
The new Lord Mayor of Bradford has said that social inclusion is the key to the city's success. Councillor Doreen Lee was installed as mayor this week. She speaks to our political correspondent Harry McMullen in her first interview in the role.
Completed in 1873, Bradford's Gothic Town Hall is the highlight of the city's architectural showreel. the building is envied by many towns and cities around the world. This week, the Town Hall welcomed its newest member of staff, a new Lord Mayor, after Councillor Zafar Ali's term as Mayor came to an end early this month.
I'm excited, I'm really excited. We have a great city, and it's not just Bradford. We're lucky because it's Bradford and district. And people forget that. You know, it's the district that has the history. It's the district that has the Five Rice Locks, that has the Brontes, that has the Ilkley Moors, that brings most of the tourists in. And we live in a fantastic area. We really do live in a fantastic area. Bradford itself, I mean, we've got Broadway, the new shopping centre, which is super. We've got the City Park here. People's image of Bradford is changing.
Councillor Lee is adamant that the key to building Bradford's reputation after years of slander and bad press is inclusion throughout the community.
This year I want it to be fun, I want it to be inclusive, and I want to be able to reach out to all the communities right across the district. Young, old, it doesn't matter. Where you're from, what you do, who you are, what religion you are, what ethnicity you are, it doesn't matter. We want to get out there and reach out to you and say, come on, hey, we're Bradford and district. Let's get it together, let's make it work.
Elsewhere in the region, other councils have instated new Lord Mayors. In York, Councillor Janet Lucker, former Labour Group leader, was sworn into office for the second time. She had previously served as Lord Mayor from 2004 to 2005. In Hull, Councillor Steve Wilson, along with his husband Carl Hudder, are set to become the city's first same-sex couple when Wilson is installed as Hull's 107th Lord Mayor at the Guildhall next week. And finally, in Leeds, Eileen Taylor became the first West Indian Lord Mayor. All across the board, the new mayors in our region know the hard work starts now.
Yorkshire has seen the biggest increases in house prices in the country. That's according to the Office for National Statistics. House prices in Yorkshire have gone up by 3.6% on average. That's even more than London, where prices have actually dropped. York and Barnsley have seen the biggest rises in the region.
Here, I think it's very fast because normally, in my impression, that's 2 or 3% of a country in terms of the house price increase should be normal, but 4% I think it's a little higher.
Well, I don't want house prices to go up anyway because I feel for people that are trying to get on the housing ladder.
London prices were very high, to some extent I'm not that surprised.
The number of planes in UK airspace is set to reach an all-time high today. Air traffic control expects to handle more than 6 flights per minute. The spike in flights is partly due to the school half-term, the Monaco Grand Prix and Cannes Film Festival. Now, earlier in the week, we visited a boxing club near Huddersfield, keeping young people away from gangs. Another Yorkshire project called Unorthodox is using non-contact boxing to bring together communities. I went down to a session with 10 to 16-year-olds in Leeds to find out more. Down at Fernville Leisure Centre, these young people look confident and full of energy as they train. The coaches here say they've seen a huge difference in some of the team since they began the sessions. The sessions are free and run in partnership with Positive Futures, a sport-based scheme which offers opportunities for young people.
Hopefully what they take away from this class will also pay dividends in their schoolwork and all that, sort of a bit more discipline, being friendly. Whenever we get a new person join, everyone has to go introduce themselves. Hi, my name is such and such, what's your name? A little bit about themselves to make everyone feel welcome. And if they do that in everyday life, it should make them more confident and more social.
The young people say the sessions give them something to do after school and help to keep them active rather than lazing around at home.
So we do boxing, we do attacks, and we do defence, and we play games after. I enjoy myself and I meet new people and we have a laugh, we play games and I learn self-defence, and when I'm down I can just come here and I'll become healthy.
I love coming to the sessions because it gives me something to do, and it's nice to know that girls can do things that are considered boy sports.
Girls and boys train together here, something which the coaches say is so important to encourage girls to get involved. Kyra says the coaches have helped to build her confidence.
They're really good at getting information across, and they really do teach you lots of different skills.
We get to learn about different things like jab, backhand. It's really interesting to do and it's really fun.
Unorthodox also run a mixed age group in Bradford that encourages people with disabilities to train. They hope to start a new session at Leeds Beckett University, continuing to break down barriers in another community. The Italian fashion brand Prada, which is stocked in House of Fraser in Leeds, is going fur-free. The move comes after a collaboration with Fur Free Alliance, a coalition of animal protection charities. We asked people in Leeds whether they welcomed the move.
It's definitely a good idea for them to stop doing it because they're a massive brand and they've got a massive influence, so if they stop it probably sets an example to other brands as well.
It stops animal cruelty. It's good to see that it's taking it into consideration, you know. It's what people want in it nowadays. If we don't change then nothing's going to happen.
Real fur, yes. Fake fur is fine. It looks the same. It's aesthetically pleasing.
Now it's perfect weather for gardening outside, and a community centre in Nowell Mount in East Leeds have been putting on their gardening gloves to plant flower and vegetable patches. Alicia Atkinson reports.
Leeds Partnerships are running a gardening project at Nowell Mount Community Centre. The project allows East Leeds residents to plant flowers and foods from onion to garlic while making the most of the community space.
It brings so many benefits. You've obviously got the idea of just growing your own food, and the start of just seeing your little seed grow to like a little seedling and then actually produce food that you can just pick and eat yourself. It's just amazing. The food always tastes great. But there's also the benefits of just being outdoors. In East Leeds, a lot of people don't have their own gardens, they've got no open space of their own. So the idea of sharing a community garden, it shares the work, but it also means people can share the work itself, meet other people, socialise, and you've got the outdoor aspect as well and the physical aspect as well of just doing a little bit of digging and just that kind of active movement as well.
The project aims to bring the community together. Locals who attend the group are able to learn about how to plant and maintain vegetable patches, which they are able to eat and enjoy.
The Women's World Cup kicks off in France this June, and many pundits believe that England have a great chance to bring the cup back home. Phil Neville's squad, featuring 3 Yorkshire players, Rachel Daly, Beth Mead and Lucy Stanyforth, will depart later this month. We are now joined by Amy Rusky, football journalist for DAZN, who will be travelling to France to cover the tournament. Thanks for joining us, Amy.
You're welcome.
So during the World Cup, which players should we be looking out for?
So you've got the obvious ones of Sam Kerr at Australia, Lucy Bronze for England, La Sommer, Morgan, Rapinoe, but Nikita Paris is going to have a really good tournament for England. She's just agreed a deal to move to Lyon, the biggest club in the world, from Man City. You've got Caroline Graham-Hansen, who plays for Norway, because the Ballon d'Or winner from last year, Hegerberg, she's not playing for them. So Hansen will automatically become the star player there. And you've got Kim Little at Scotland, who should have a good tournament as well. If they're going to get out of the group, she'll have something to do with it. And Lena McGull at Germany is another one who could have a breakthrough tournament this year.
And we know from Twitter you've got a keen eye for youth players. Who do you think will break through this World Cup?
So we've got Mallory Pugh at the USA. She went to the World Cup 4 years ago when she was 16. So she's going to have a big impact this time. And Jessie Fleming as well at Canada. Is now 21. She's got 60 caps, and she'll start in their midfield. And for England as well, we've got Georgia Stanway, who's probably won't start every game, but she'll have a big thing, a big tournament. She's just been named Young Player of the Year as well, so she's definitely one to look at.
And after England's success in the States in the She Believes Cup, do you think we've got a chance?
Oh, definitely. Well, if we win our group, England, we will play a third-place team in the last 16. So it's a nice, easy run-in. Norway or Brazil in the quarters, you'd expect, but they've struggled as well. And then it's the USA in the semi-finals. So that's the big game that decides whether we get there to that final, which is probably going to be Germany. So it's going to be a big test, but the last four is definitely an aim.
And women's football is getting more and more airtime. Do you think it will ever catch up to the men's game in terms of coverage?
I think it's going in the right direction. There's a lot of big companies pumping money in at the moment. Visa have just pumped in, they're saying as much as they did for the Men's World Cup last summer. And you've got a load of commercial opportunities. A lot of media outlets are really getting their interest in there. So it's going in the right direction, but as long as the money's there, then there's no reason why it can't.
That's great. Thanks so much for joining us, Amy.
You're welcome.
And the rest of the sport, it's a big few days in Rugby League with the Datcha Magic Weekend. 6 of the 12 teams are from Yorkshire and they feature in all but one of the 6 games. The weekend begins with Wakefield Trinity hosting the high-flying Catalan Dragons, followed by Hull FC taking on Huddersfield Giants. On Sunday, Hull Kingston Rovers will be looking to pick up vital points against Salford Red Devils. And Leeds Rhinos face the London Broncos in a relegation battle. Both sides are on 8 points going into the weekend, and the game has already been dubbed as a 4-pointer at the bottom of the table. The weekend finishes with an exciting tie as Castleford Tigers take on the league leaders, St Helens. And now it's on to the weather with Will Ford. Will, where are you today?
Well, I'm here in Horsforth Hall Park, and as you can see, it's another beautiful day here in Yorkshire. There'll be highs of 18 degrees today, cooling off towards the evening, and it's a similar story really right across this bank holiday weekend, with temperatures ranging from around 16 degrees up to as high as 20 in some places. There'll be some light showers on Sunday, but for the rest of the weekend it should be staying relatively dry, and then the temperatures will cool off as we move into next week. The UV levels will be high though over this bank holiday weekend, so make sure you put your sun cream on if you're out and about and enjoying the sunshine. Back to you in the studio.
And over the last fortnight, we've been asking you to send in your best weather pictures from across the county. For our final programme today, we've picked out our top 3. So in third place, we have this fantastic shot of the Yorkshire Dales, sent in last night by Colin in Halifax. Then our second place prize goes to Paul in Leeds with this picture of his pooch on Ilkley Moor. But the winner, it just had to be this great shot of Knaresborough Viaduct in the river. This was sent in by Way in Leeds, so congratulations, Way. Thanks for all your lovely pictures. Well, that's all we have time for on today's Yorkshire Voice. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. It's @YorkshireV on Twitter, and check out our website. It's www.yorkshire-voice.com for the latest news. Thanks for tuning in to our show. It's our very last one. Have a lovely weekend, and here's the best of the worst from the last fortnight.
A Yorkshire Voice exclusive, as the Ilkley Moor fires could be a good thing for local archaeologists. Good afternoon and welcome to today's Yorkshire Voice.
And then we'll go back to where we were, I think was the best. Oh, sorry.
I'm joined in the studio by Harry McMillan, an expert on racism.
How's it looking, Will? Seem to have lost Will there.
England's 5-1 victory away over Montenegro on Monday night was overshadowed by racist abuse from home supporters. Danny Rose, Raheem Sterling and Callum Hudson of Dubai were all subjected to abuse.
The polls will be open tomorrow as we vote prepare in European elections.
And hopefully this will get it stopped.